Hello viewers, welcome to Angular 8 tutorial, and today we are going to discuss template and template URL in Angular of session 5th of this series. And just before that, I would request to go to my previous tutorial, which is on component in C sharp. Okay, because this is the continuous to my previous tutorial. Okay, so let's start with. Okay, so as we discussed in our last series also, like both template and template, you are meant to, render the HTML or provide the HTML content basically, okay, from the component itself. Component itself, generates the HTML in the help of this particular property of component decorator. Okay, so template and template URL. Basically, we are just going to discuss both and its differences and advantages on each. Okay, so like in our last session, we used inline template. Okay, so an inline template can be used, but it's only recommended for search content. What it speaks about, we are just going to, just see right now. That means it is something like if you are having it is recommended not proceed with 3 to 4 lines, then you should go for inline template. Else, it's better to have a separate or the individual HTML itself. And what are the advantages of having a separate HTML that we just look into. And to add a inline template, we are using a pair of backtick character. Okay, so like as we just saw in our previous example, let me switch to that one. So here you can see like we are having a div and which is aligning the content to center, and within this div we are having a message called welcome to what about the data will come from this backend my component and sorry app component with help of a variable called my data and application like welcome to hello world application. That's it. Okay, and here you if you would have noticed this is not a single quote, guys. Like here you can see this is called single quote, and this is something your backtick character. You can find your backtick character in your QWERTY keyboard just above the key of tab. Okay, so if you will go to the above tab key, you will find the backtick character. Okay, so this is something like we have seen in our last video also, and when we'll run the application, so my application is currently running, you can see it is generating, this output. Okay, now one question, we might be, will be definitely a curiosity to just know why not a single or double quote instead? Why you are supposed to just use, like a tick character, right? Why we can't go for a normal single quote and double quote? So there are some things just we are just going to discuss right now. So even we can use either a single and double quote or double quote to append an inline template rather than going for a backtick character. And when there is a multi-line HTML expected, we need to render it through a backtick character only. And why it is suggested? Let me just tell you, in practically. So here you can see, like when we are having a multi-line statement, we must be using a backtick character. When we are expected to have, just one line content, then we can go for either single quote or maybe double quote. Okay, so prior to that, I just wanted to know, like, I have little bit modified this particular section, comparison to my previous tutorial. If you can see, I am just not appending using the concatenation operator, but yes, of course, I'm using the interpolation within. Okay, so anyway, let me just show you. Like, let's suppose instead of a vertical character, I will have a single quote. Okay, and just let me remove the vertical character pair, and I'm pairing with a single quote. Now you can see there is an error. Okay, Operator cannot, this less than equal cannot be less than symbol, right? Cannot be applied to type boolean and regular expression basically. So this is giving an error like it is not at all allowed. Okay, even if you replace also the double quote, it won't allow itself. Okay, so that's the thing. Even okay, so there was just let me do undo one. Okay, I think here auto-generated one. If you will remove this one also, the error will be same only. Okay, so let me replace with just double quote and let's see what is happening. Still, it won't allow to just go ahead and just use the multi-line character within a double quote also. Okay, there is a restriction. It won't allow itself, right? So it won't allow. Okay, just remove it. Just put a comma. Okay, still it is showing the same error. If you'll notice, same error only we're getting kind of like, right? This is the same error. Anyway, so it is proving that when you are having a multi-line, you should not go for a single quote and double quote, okay? Or double quote. When you are having a multi-line, you should be using a vector character. But when we are expected to have, all the content within a single line, okay? So let me do quickly. Okay, still it is having error because of there is a double quote inside. Even there is one more problem also you can face like we are having an error also when we will be appending some properties basically or attributes using a double quote. Okay, just simply remove it. Now it's all good. Okay. Now if we'll build it also and when we'll switch to our okay it is working. Just I just remove the aligned part. That's why it is working as expected. Okay, let's go and just replace with a single quote instead double quote. So here what I'm supposed to do, like just put a single quote. Yep. And I just enclose a pair of single quote. It's all good. Now if you want you can have a align attribute. Okay. So deep sorry center. Now it won't give error because of this is started or even paid within the single quote instead of double quote. So there won't be a just override kind of situation. And let's switch to the result view. It's all good. It is showing as expected. So here we just saw when we are having a single line where we can go for like single quote or a double quote, but when we are having a multiple like just let me undone all these things. Okay, so when we are having a multi-line, it's better to just allow a allow the content paid with a backtick character, but also as we would be just discussing why we should not go for an inline component sorry inline template or actually instead of having a template URL that we are just going to discuss right now. So here if you can see like the recommendation is always to have template URL instead an inline template because you can see like there won't be any kind of ID integrated development environment like we are having Visual Studio Code. You might be having Visual Studio, or even you can have Eclipse when you are using with Java as a Java developer. So we are going to lose the intelligence, and also the formatting feature is not supported. We need to just manually format it. Maintainability is difficult. Losing readability, definitely we are going to lose the readability. And the most important thing is we are violating SOC, the separate of concern. What it speaks about, I'm just going to discuss right now. But before, just let me show you if it is inline template how this four things won't work. Like this one, template, ID, intelligence, formatting user, and maintainability basically is not supported by this template. Let me show you. Here you can see like we are not going to have a proper intelligence mechanism when we are using this. Okay. So rarely you will be getting the intelligence over here. It will support some of intelligence because we are just still you know um, using within the component, but it's very hard to just render all the stylish and HTML related components when we are using an inline statement. And also if let's suppose and simple I'm just doing a workspace and just please save it. I have done the settings also so that it will auto formatted on save. This option is right, just right, you have it available here. Go to setting preferences settings, and in setting tabs you need to just go to your text editor and formatting, and there is an option here like format file on save. Okay, you need to just check it. Okay, so that when you are going to save, it will format it accordingly. Else you can also just go. So let me show you, like I'm just putting a type character. You can also either I can save, see it is formatting, but not this one, it got formatted. Okay, so instead you can also just press Ctrl K for the same purpose. Okay, so we are going to lose the formality. And second thing is okay, simply we are just talking about the three content. And just think of like we will have 100 number of, okay, which is not at all allowed. Let's suppose we are having 100 line of HTML content, and just you assume like how would be the difficult just to read properly what it is written. And of course maintainability is going to be a very problem due to one major factor is called we are simply violating the separate of concern. Okay, and what separate of concern? Let's assume like we are having a backend file within like app.component.ts, like we are having here, right? This is the backend file. You just always assume it, and instead what we can have a template URL. Okay, so let me go template, sorry, there is a typo. Yeah, now this is fine, template URL, and here within the code I need to just mention we can have just the path. Here the path is always it's a relative path basically, so even it will give the same result what we were expecting in inline statement. So it's all good. Okay. So that's what like the we are violating SOC, the separate options, and why? As we just did, like if and you will have a individual or the separate HTML page itself, like a component 2.html, so that let's assume like the UI developer is going to just to work parallelly or simultaneously with the HTML, and side by side the Angular developer only designing the component based code. Okay, so this is something like the separate of concern we're talking about. And when we are just moving to template URL, the main element is like we can get benefited from all those things which we are not having in our previous line, in the sense like we won't be having intelligence, we won't be having formatting feature maintainability in template, but we all the things will be having with template URL. Okay, so thank you guys. Thanks for watching this series, and you can visit to this tutorial for all the text persons. of my tutorial and upcoming tutorials, and you can visit to this particular tutorial for this text version of the current tutorial. Okay, so thanks again, and just keep smiling, keep just sharing your knowledge with others, and keep learning because learning never has an end. And we are going to just meet soon in my next video session, where we can discuss like template versus sorry, not template versus we just covered now. Like we can discuss nested component, okay, and what is this and how we can make use of and get benefited. Okay, till then, just have a good day. Thank you.